Good morning, everybody. Today we're up in the Lake District in the northwest of England and Grizedale Forest. Just joined the forest road from Satterthwaite and heading up the hill. No real plans for today. Not doing any technical downhills or anything like that. It's the first time I've been to Grizedale, so I've just been mainly sticking to the forest roads, just learning my way around. First of two gates before we get to the forest road. Make sure that's closed. I've been in Grizedale for a couple of days now and the weather's been really wet and windy, so this is the first time I've been out on the bike. I'm here for a week. But I've walked up here 3 or 4 times from where we're staying up to the forest track. And it doesn't feel as bumpy when you're walking on it as it does when you're on a bike. Today's Saturday, so probably expecting a lot of walkers and other bikers. I've seen a few of them this morning when we went out and took the dog for a walk. There's the last of the gates. And here we are on the fire road. I think I'm going to start going this way. I've not been down here yet. We've been the other way. We'll go there in a little while. I'll need to... I'd say this is just a learning exercise to figure out where everything goes. The trails around Grizedale do tend to form sort of interconnected loops. So you can do short rides or you can do long rides, but every junction where you've got an option to go left or right, every one of them looks like everyone else, so you need to be very careful. Morning. I've just swallowed my first Grizedale fly, loads of protein. Sure it won't be the last. Second fly of the day. All right. Now this path, I believe it goes from Satterthwaite village, where we've just come from, and you can get up to the mountain bike hub at the visitor centre. I'm not sure which one's which. What does this sign say? So you've got a gravel trail down the hill, Hoglet Loop, a Carron Crag trail for footpaths. Let's do the Silurian trail. First time for everything. Like I said, we've been here a couple of days now, and this is the first time the sun's come out really. Been wet and windy for 2 days, which we knew about, but we booked the cottage this time last year, so can't do anything about the weather. This is all new territory now. So we'll have to see where we end up, because I don't know where we are now. Right. Visitor centre, straight ahead. It looks as though we're at the visitor centre now. That's not as far as I thought it would be. We're back on the main road that runs up the valley. I'm going to turn around here. Right, so now we know where that is. That's okay. So I'm pleased I found that. That was a lot easier than it suggested on the map. I'm not going to stop there. I know it's easy to find now, so we're going to head up into the forest. I'm happy about that. Always make sure the gate's closed behind you. So we've been to the visitor centre. So we head up the hill now. It's one of those places where you climb up a section of track and you never know what's just out of your field of view around the next bend. It could be a summit, could be a downhill, could be another uphill. Until you know your way around, you're always surprised. It's like a blue trail up there. We're levelled off a bit now. It's a lovely day. No rain jacket today. Probably the first time all year that I've not worn it for going out for a walk or a bike ride. And to be honest, I haven't done as much riding as I wanted to, I normally would, over the last 6 months or so. Combination of things. The weather's not been too good. Been doing a lot with work, which has restricted my free time a little bit. The main reason is I've been having a lot of fun hiking and walking. I think at the time of filming this, I think I've done at least a 5k walk every day for 117 days according to Strava. A lot of those have been 10k to 20k. Just generally good for fitness. And the thing about walking is there's not really any bad weather, it's just bad choice of clothing. So I have cold weather coats, waterproof gear that's breathable. So really whatever the weather's going to do, it doesn't stop me from getting out. But with the bike, especially in wet weather, I haven't had the time to prepare the bike for running, get it all checked, serviced, maintained. Then you're out on the bike, and then when you get back you've got a whole load of cleaning and maintenance so that nothing rusts away. It's just a lot less faff hiking. I need to get back out on the bike this summer, and this is the first proper step in that direction. Now I know roughly where I am off the map. I know the general area that I'm riding into, but in terms of the actual route, I have nothing planned. I do have the OS map on my phone, which doesn't need a mobile phone signal, which is handy. The map is downloaded onto my phone, and it just uses GPS to locate where you are on the map. So as long as you've got a battery power in your phone, you've got access to your map just through your GPS. You don't need mobile data, which is perfect. And for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about with offline maps, when you buy your paper copy of the Ordnance Survey maps, the OS maps. These days they come with a barcode or a code that you scratch off on the inside. That entitles you to a digital download. So you create an account on the OS website, OS Maps website. All right. You scratch off the code on your paper map, enter it into the OS Maps app on your phone. I'm on Android, and you can download it. It syncs to your account, so you can download that map and you can open it up from the OS Maps app rather than opening Google Maps. And because it's offline, it will open and use GPS to locate you, which is very handy. Right. So that's the Carron Crag Trail straight ahead up the hill. Carron Crag is the high point, it's the peak on this side of the valley. There are some serious downhill sections with lots of berms, probably some jumps. Won't be going there today, so we'll head up to Carron Crag Trail because I know where that is. The last little bit up to the crag itself is off limits to bikes. It's just walkers, but we can get fairly close to it. We're going to have to stop here and have a look. This is gorgeous. Here's the fire road. I hope that comes out on camera. That's the view down the valley. In the bottom of the valley down there you see some white cottages. That's where we've just come from. And down here is, somewhere down there is Grizedale, the visitor centre. Somewhere over there, Grizedale Lake District up there. And about there, the cottages. So we've come along this section down below. Wow, look at that. Absolutely stunning. And the weather's turned out perfect. Right, let's get on with it. I'm not sure whether I've been here yesterday, so I'm going to go this way. The worst that can happen is I end up coming back this way. Let's go this way. So I'm recording this ride on Strava and the Garmin computer on the bike. But if I get stuck and I find myself lost, I'm also recording it on the OS Maps app. So it's recording my GPS data and superimposing that onto my offline OS map. So I could use that as a reference if I needed to retrace my steps. If I found myself somewhere I wasn't sure where to go. So I've got a couple of options for going back if I do get lost. I'm not really worried about that. But you certainly, coming to places like this, you certainly wouldn't want to go without some sort of a backup for reference. As you see, there's hardly anybody about. There's nobody to ask. Mobile phone signals are very sporadic. You don't want to get yourself caught out towards the end of the day with no way of contacting anyone and you're lost and it's starting to go dark. You've got to have an idea of where you need to be. It's so tempting. Right. So tempting just to take, when you get to a junction, you think, oh, I'll go up there. I think a lot of it this week will be, I found when I've been walking through sections of the forest yesterday and Thursday, the biggest help was to do the walk, go 5-10k, get back to where you can have a look at the route that you've taken on Garmin and Strava and reference that to what you've actually seen. Helps to build a picture of what the routes actually look like. What you'll find is you'll remember that turning that looked attractive off to your left or off to your right, and the next time you've got an idea of where it goes to because you'll have looked at it on the map. This looks as though there's been some active forestry going on recently. It's fresh tyre tracks. Bit of mud on the road. Now it looks as though we've gone in a clockwise loop. My feeling is that we're heading back towards that viewing point that we stopped at a minute ago. Ooh. There's the, oh, there we are. There's the top of the, there's the trailhead over on the right, the top of the downhill sections with the berms. So I think I'm going to go here. There's another couple of bikers ahead of me. seen going up there, so let's see how we go. This section of road has been just upgraded for the forestry vehicles by the look of it. Yeah. A lot of bark and branches on the track, so it does look as though they've had works vehicles up here recently. Down to the side to the right, a lot of forest has been taken down. I think a lot of it has been blown down by the look of it. It's possible they've been making it safe after some storm damage. This is awesome. To be fair, this is exactly what I wanted. Just miles and miles of forest trails, ups and downs, beautiful scenery. Just cover the miles. I think we're at 10k now. So far into this ride. Wow. We'll just take a look at this. Wow. Take a picture of that, eh? That's gorgeous. One of these days I'll figure out what those mountains are. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Here we are, another junction. That's where they're doing forestry works up here. So you can go up there, but I don't think they're working at weekends. The trail isn't actually closed. The rule for passing areas where there's forestry work going on is the same as passing construction equipment anywhere else. As you get within sight of it and you stop and you make sure that the operator of the machinery has seen you and acknowledged you and given you the okay to pass. You've got to have that eye-to-eye contact. And it's safe to make your way through. So we're heading northwest at the minute. Wow. I'm going to go straight ahead. There is a climb up there on the left. There's a mountain biker going up there. So I'm going to see where this is. Like I said, this is all good stuff because all this appears on the Garmin map, and I can sit there with a brew and a slice of cake later and figure out where he was going. We're still going away from our starting point at the minute. So I'm conscious of the fact that whatever distance we go in this direction, we've got to go the same distance in the reverse direction to get back again eventually. The goalposts. Now this looks like a T-junction, is it? Or is it a bend to the right? But I can see that view. Holy buckets. Wow. Take a look at this. That is spectacular. It just takes your breath away. The fact that all this is natural and it's free. And it's just there for everyone to be enjoyed, and it's unbelievable. Look at that. Incredible. Anyway, we're off up there. Should have stopped and took pictures of beer. In fact, I'm going to do that now. I'll put the pictures in the video. Right. Let's be off. All right. Let's take it easy a little bit here. Haven't got the width. You have to be aware of walkers and dogs. It's a shared path. Nice. Let's go this way. Heading southwest now. Which is sort of down towards Coniston. So possibly we are going to see Coniston today. Coniston Water, which is to the west of Grizedale Forest. I can open it up a bit here now. Pedalling into a headwind. See, one thing I've noticed is that the forest roads, the fire roads in Grizedale, are extremely well maintained. There's no potholes or mud or anything. The only bits where they're deteriorated a little bit is where they're actually doing the forestry work, where they're digging up mud and bringing it on from the land either side. It's not because the road is actually failing, it's just covered in mud and debris. So I'm really impressed. For gravel riding, if you can cope with the regular uphill sections, it's a beautiful place for riding. Going straight ahead. Woo! Only because of that loose surface, I didn't want to put my brakes on. So have a look at that junction. I say it's great having fun on the bike on these type of trails in this setting, but you just need to always have in the back of your mind that it's a shared path, and there are walkers and potentially families and dogs also sharing the path. So you don't want to be going crazy and power sliding round corners when you can't see what's at the other end. So it looks like we've Silurian gravel trail, that's where we've just come up, and you've got the Hoglet loop up at the top there, the orange. Oh, I'm not sure whether that's orange or red. I think it's orange. So where we've just come up is a proper cycle route, but it is shared. So if we head up there, we're heading north. So I'm going to go where we were just heading and head back south. At the moment we're going southeast. We're heading back towards the starting point, but I don't intend on finishing when we get there. It depends how I feel anyway. I've got the whole day to myself. So my intention is to ride as many miles and learn as much of this forest as I can. Climb up the hill. More junctions that I've just driven straight past. Now I'm going southwest again. See, the good thing is I know that there is a route back to where I started, so I'm not worried about that. But I am hoping that I find a different route so I don't have to backtrack the same route again in the opposite direction. Right, okay. Gorgeous. Wow, look at that on the left. All the trees down. A lot of them have been stacked, so there's obviously been some logging going on in there. Right. Wow. I love these roads. So we're heading southwest now. Wow. Right. I'm going to have a look at my OS map. Now, so I've just checked the map and we're in a good place. We're actually riding southwest and Coniston is over to our right. So I'm going to try and get on that hillside up ahead of us, generally to the right, which is west of us. Fly number 3. See if we can get sight of Coniston Water. But what we've actually done is we've gone a long way north and we've already gone most of the way back south alongside the route that we went up on. So we've done a massive big loop so far. I was worried we'd end up on the other side of Coniston, maybe completely miles away, but no, we're doing good. Not bad for a guess. to turn right here. Ah, it's a fierce headwind. Wow. Feels like interval training of some sort, this. You got downhill, uphill, downhill, uphill. See, is this a false peak? Is this the top? It is the top. Well, it's one of the tops. It's a top. Now we're going down again. And we've not seen Coniston yet. All right, thank you. Right. Right. Left uphill. This is where I'm going to have a look at my map. I've looked at the map, the OS map. We've actually come further south than I thought. Made really good progress. So we're south of our starting point. So at the moment we're heading northeast. Turned left at that last junction, which actually takes us towards where we started. No doubt I'll have put some maps showing the route in the video, so you can see just where we are and where we've come from, where we're going to. But so far I'm really pleased with the length of the run and where I've actually managed to go exploring. It's all good information for the next ride. That's the whole point of it today. Exploring. Oh, here we go. This, I know off the top of my head, is wood moss tarn. This is where me and my partner and the dog ended our walk today. About 2.5 kilometres from the starting point. We sat on this bench, had a drink and looked over the tarn. So all of a sudden I know exactly where I am, but I've approached it from the south rather than coming down from the north. That's really cool. So we came down from here, so I'm riding on familiar trail at the minute. I'll put it this way, if I get lost now, after having walked this track about 3 hours ago, I probably want to hang up my cycling shorts. He says now it was this way. Yeah, we went up the hill. If I get lost now, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I remember this fence, this gate. It's strange, all the memorable bits along this track are all because our dog took a keen interest in them. Track or bridge, track or bridge, track or bridge. Let's do the bridge. It's just a little shortcut. Probably gained about 20 metres there. This is excellent. I don't know whether this comes across, but I am having such a good time today. This is perfect. And right. I know there's no reason to be, but I do feel a little bit guilty passing other cyclists on trails like this because I've got the electric assist. I mean, I got an e-bike to help me on the uphills, and to help me stay on the bike for longer rides without burning out. Not as young as I used to be, not as fit as I used to be. So when you get past 50, it's a big help to keep enjoying the hobby and the sport that I've had for so many years. So I don't see it as cheating, as some people call it. If you're fit enough to climb like this for hours at a time, to get to the trailhead and bomb down over and over again, then you're very lucky. Keep up with that as much as you can. But for me, at my fitness level and my skill level really, if I had to do that, I would ride less and it would put me off riding. So the fact that you've got the electric assist is nothing other than exactly what it says. It's an assist. You still have to put in the effort. You still have to work at it. But it just gives you that little bit of assistance that you need to keep it up. Still gets your heart rate to up 140, 150. And I do find myself dialing down the assist as much as possible. A lot of the relatively flat miles that I'm doing, I'll just be in eco mode, and that basically does nothing other than compensates for the weight of the bike and the battery. So you're putting in just as much effort as on a 24 kilogram e-bike as you are on a 14 kilogram mountain bike, full suspension mountain bike. So now we're heading northwest. So I'm eating a banana flapjack. It is very tasty. Not doing much talking while I'm chewing. So we've just clocked 25 kilometres in 1 hour 39 minutes. That's gone past really quick. So what I was saying earlier about all these junctions looking very similar. I did a 10k loop on foot yesterday and got to a section of forest road where you were walking alongside, or you're walking on the peak looking down on Coniston Water and you could see it. I can't remember exactly where it was. See, all these trails could be completely brand new to me, or they could have been what I saw yesterday. Oh, hang on a minute, what's that yet down there? I think Coniston's over to the left. So it's possible that I did come along here yesterday while I was walking, but I was coming the other way. Or is this right? Oh, please be the right. Yes. Here it is. I am in the right spot. I do recognise this place. We are home. And there is Coniston. You can only just about see it. Let me take the camera off. Beautiful. So yeah, this is what I wanted to, this is where I wanted to end up on the bike, because I'd come here on foot yesterday and it was part of a route I was planning on doing today, but I didn't know how to get there again. So I'm glad we ended up here. Look at that. Anyway, onward and upward. I'm going to change the battery in you as well. Righty ho. I've just realised something that I think we've been up here on this ride. I think we've come up here in the other direction, and for some reason completely failed to spot Coniston on the right. Well, that's okay. We came from the left, so I'm going to go right now. Heading southeast, which is correct. Bench on the left with a view of a tree. Doesn't show you anything. There we are. So I went this way. I should have gone right on foot yesterday, but I went this way instead. So that last junction we just passed was where I made my mistake. See, the track is getting narrower. We're not really on a forest road anymore. Here we are, the trailhead. So you've got this here, one-way cycle trails. So you've got the red trail that goes off down to the left, which is, it's a bit sketch. It's literally a little bit of a shelf on the top of a halfway down an embankment to slope. Now this is the start of the black trail. Now I'm not going down there. I started off going down there yesterday and somehow while I was walking ended up on a red trail that starts just over to the right, and I could literally see below me the road that I needed to be walking on, but there was physically nowhere there. There were two big high fences, wire fences, and perilous drops. It's not something you could walk down unassisted. You're literally using climbing gear to get down there. So because I'm not a black trail level rider and I don't want to face plant again, I'll do what I should have done yesterday, which is go back to that last junction and take the right turn, which will be on our left as we're approaching it now. At least with places like this, you ride one direction on the trail and it's a beautiful view. You turn around and ride the same trail in the opposite direction and it looks like a completely different place. So we're going this way now. Which I've not been on this one before. I don't know exactly where it takes us, but it takes us within spitting distance of where we need to be. Approximately where we started the ride. And we're reducing elevation on a forest road rather than coming down a black trail embankment with sketchy slippery rocks. I'd rather this than a rock garden at the moment. I think we went up there earlier. I'm going to go left. I'm so looking forward to seeing the footage back and looking at the route on Garmin. It's one of those things, you know, you see the route and you remember a junction and you remember that thought process of should I go left or should I go right, and you decide to go left. And you see it on the map and you think, oh, if I'd have only gone right, I would have been right there. Yeah, that's usually what happens. Now some of you may be screaming, I've been on this route already, this ride, just going the other way. You don't know. I have no idea whether that's the case or not. I've probably come up here once already. I can see the village where we started from over on the left. Right. All right. Whyte bridge ahead. No access for HGV vehicles, 3-ton weight limit. So I'm going to go down and have a look at this bridge because I'm pretty sure we're very close to where we started off now. There's the Whyte bridge. Look at that, the sun causing the puddles to evaporate into steam. The sun's that warm now. I thought it was dust earlier on, but it's actually wet ground from the rain last night coming out of shadow into the sunshine. It's just rising steam. This isn't what I expected, but I'm not complaining. There we go. Wow, look at that view. So I want to go either straight ahead or right. I think we came on from the left here. No, we didn't. Oh, did we? So now we're heading northeast. This seems familiar. Right, so I've got the map open. This is where I need to be going. So I decided to turn right there after checking the map. We're generally heading back towards the start point, but we're not going on a route that we've taken before. This little bit anyway. Hey, Paul. Yes, we are here. We've been here once before. And this junction here straight ahead is where we set off this morning. We came through there, through the farmer's field, and that's where the ride started. So a few ride stats: just over 36 kilometres, 2 hours 18 minutes. It's another kilometre back to the house. So I'm quite very pleased with that. So anyway, I'll be out again, probably 1 or 2 rides during the week while I'm here in Grizedale. So thanks for coming along today, and I'll catch you in the next video. All the best. See you later.